Hey guys, how are y'all doing? It's Friday today. Just got done with all of our crap. Got really some personal time, so I've got some time to make a video. I was gonna go ahead and do that. I'm trying out a new system now, so I want y'all to tell me what you think. I've got notes written so I can kind of follow along on what I'm doing. This video, I'm only gonna really cover one main topic, and that's going to be graduation requirements because there are many. You know, so you can kind of know ahead of time what to expect, and these are basically going to be things that you don't really want to miss. They're the ones that usually suck the most, but don't miss them because you're either going to have to redo them or you're going to get restarted. And I'll go a little bit into that too. So here we go with this video. So you may be thinking, so not everything in BASIC is required. No, it is not. Not everything is required. The lowest common denominator, some people are a little bit slower than others, so they do a lot of training leading up to an event. Gonna start this whole thing off with the biggest thing that you're gonna really be seeing is FTXs. There's going to be 3 of them, unless rumors are true and they actually are cutting some of them out. For us, there were 3. FTX 1 is a day and a night, so you come, you stay over the night, and then you leave the next day. Then the next one is 3 days, 2 nights, and then the one after that's 4 days, 3 nights. The way that FTXs work is you get out there, and they, on FTX 1, they explain how to do everything, how to set up all this stuff. You're going to be digging Hasty V's, which is like a new version of Foxhole. It's like a V in the ground, and then you lay in it, and you pull security, and the whole company does that in a circle so that you can pull security for the fob, which is going to be in the middle. They're going to explain how to do that, how to take care of yourself out in the field, and all that cool stuff. So yeah, you're going to get to, that's going to be FTXs, and the first one, like I said, just explaining things to you. Second one, a little bit more in depth. Last one is basically, it's the last training week that you have at BASIC, and they're expecting you to know everything, and they're just seeing what you really do and don't know. They're also going to teach you battle drills, which I'm going to touch a little bit on, but I've got those. I got those when I'm going into Omaha. So I'm going to go a little bit more in depth than then, but I'm going to start with battle drills and kind of give y'all the basics of how that works. Alright, sorry guys, I had to pause it to move my dip around. So battle drills. That's going to be movement drills with your platoon and actually more specifically your squad. Basically how to maneuver in the battlefield and call out where the enemy's at, how far away they are, how many of them there are, all that stuff. You're going to have to learn how to work mainly as a squad. So you got a platoon. There's usually like 4 squads, which is the ranks in each for each line. As a squad, you're going to be divided into 2 teams, and you're going to work to do different battle drills. That will be carried out at Vic Forge. You're going to learn at Omaha. Omaha is when you're going to learn how to do that, and FTX 2 also. You're going to kind of go a little bit over that stuff and get the layout of how that works. Like I said, I'm going to go a little bit more into that when I go over Omaha. Next thing is your ruck marches. You got 4, right? Yeah, 4 miles, 6 mile, 8, yeah, 4. You got a 4 mile, you got a 6 mile, you got an 8 mile, and you got a 12, well, they say 10, but it was 12 for us at least. They suck. The 4 mile sucks because you're not used to it. And then the 6 mile sucks because it's longer. And the 8 mile sucks because it's longer. And then the 12 mile really sucks because it's long. And you usually start at about 1 in the morning. And it's 5 hours. So that one really sucks. But then by that time, you're going to look at the 4 mile one like, really? That was hard? I'm not really going to go over the ruck marches because it's pretty freaking self-explanatory. Only thing is really For us, they didn't check the weight in the rucksack. They do weight classes based on how much you weigh, determines how much goes in your ruck. They didn't really check for us. So on the last ruck march, I had like nothing. And like I said, that last one usually starts about 1 in the morning and ends at about, like 9. Because you go and you stage, and then you start at 3. But you actually step off. We marched about 2 miles, and we stopped until about 2:50. And then when we started, we got back at about like 8:30. But I remember we went from our company area to a gas chamber, which is also a requirement, which I'll go into. And that was, that seemed like a long distance. That was 2 miles. By the time we passed the gas chamber on the way back from a 12-mile, I was like, oh yeah, I could jog the rest of the way back. Like, we're close. We're really close. The other thing I guess I need to really go into is when you're doing the ruck marches, be really careful, because we had a lot of people that would get stress fractures, and basically that's just like fracturing a bone. You get a fracture based from the stress of walking, and it messes you up. You can end up having to get reclassed, that's an AIT term, restarted, which sucks. And like I said, I'm going to go into the whole restarts thing a little bit later on, but that's basically the ruck marches. Next thing is going to be your APFT, which is also the last one, the one that really counts is your EOC. Basic thing with the APFT, if you go to your future soldier training like you're supposed to after you enlist, it's really going to be nothing new to you. 2 minutes of sit-ups, 2 minutes of push-ups, and a 2-mile run. Basic training standards were 50%, now they're 60%, which is what AIT and the rest of the Army is, so really not getting you out of much of anything. For me, minimum is like 45 push-ups, 54 sit-ups, and a 1554 on the 2-mile. Really no problem for me, but if you know you got a problem with something or all 3 of those, work on them, because they will keep you from graduating. And I guess right now I'm going to go into that whole restart thing. Restarting is, you can do a couple things to get restarted. One, you can get injured really bad, and then they make sure that you heal. And when you're done healing, you restart at whatever phase you were on and you'd finish the requirements for. For instance, if you were brand new in there on red phase, you're going to restart at the beginning of basic training. If you had qualified on the rifles, which is pretty much a big thing for white phase, you started at white phase. If you'd gone through like some of the basic requirements for blue phase, you're going to start on blue phase, and you can only have 3 weeks. So like I said, it all depends on where you are when you got restarted. Another thing you can do to get restarted is act bad, get an Article 15, which is kind of like reprimanding. Sometimes they'll restart you for that. Don't do any of that, because that will be a red phase restart. And another thing that happened to one of the guys in my platoon, is he messed up, and they didn't restart him, but they held him over. So he became a holdover. He stayed for like 2 weeks after we left before he actually got to AIT with us, which really sucks, because you lose stuff. You can lose family day, and you can lose graduation. Like, you lose all that stuff. You don't get to see your family. Don't do that. Like, get your crap done, and you'll be fine. So that's the APFT. You're going to get to take 111 when you get there. So it's a 1 minute push-ups, 1 minute sit-ups, and 1 mile. Then you're going to take your first 222, and then your second 222. And by the time you take the third 222, that's your EOC. That's the final one. That's the one that actually counts. If you fail the first two, then it doesn't count against you. Sometimes you get to retake the EOC, sometimes you don't. So pass the first one. And then the next big thing is RM, which is rifle marksmanship. The only requirement in rifle marksmanship is your qualification. Don't worry, you're going to get plenty of practice for those of you that have never shot. But basically, you go out, you do 20 shots from the prone supported, which is when you have the rifle propped up on a sandbag. you do 10 shots from the prone unsported, then you do 10 shots from the kneeling, or is it kneeling? I think it's only kneeling is the only term for it. But those are your requirements. You have to get a 21 of 40 to pass, so you basically have to get above a 50%. You do that, you're fine. And then after that, anything you do with the rifles is not required because it's all practice and stuff like that. Rifle marksmanship, the only thing I can say is if you got questions, ask. There's going to be people that are with you that have been firing weapon like I have since I was like 6 years old. Been firing a weapon since I was 6. So I had some experience with that. I was helping people out. But you're going to start off by doing practicing. You're going to do grouping and zeroing. You're going to do multiple distance targets, and all that good stuff before you actually do the qualification. So you're going to have practice in what you're going to be doing before you actually go and do it. And they're going to pick pretty much the best range to do it on so that you have the best chance. So don't really trip up about that. Everybody in my whole company qualified. And then the next requirement is Omaha. That's probably one of the funnest. Sorry, there's some on my screen. It's probably one of the most fun things that we did while we were there. And that goes into the individual movement, or the movement drills that I was talking to you about, battle drills and stuff like that. Basically, we were with one other person, and you're moving from one point of cover to the other, and you're advancing in what they call a bounding. So you move up to one point, and then your battle buddy either moves up on line with you or they go beyond you. And then you continue to do that until you get to your objective. And you display that you can move and fire accurately while you have your IBA, which is your body armor on, your ACH, which is the helmet, and they call it a flick. That's the vest that they wear that has all the ammunition and stuff on it. So you're going to do that. There's no... oh, you have to hit so many targets and all that stuff. You just have to do it without, killing anyone. And you get a fake grenade that you throw at the end, at least we did. And then we had to run like we had incoming mortar fire. You do that well, you're done with that. And then that's going to kind of lead you into Victory Forge, which I'm going to go into. The other one is hand grenades, ties kind of into Omaha. You're going to do the hand grenades before Omaha. And hand grenades is literally what it sounds like. You're going to do a day of training with dummy grenades that don't really blow up. And then you're going to do a day of training with, or you're going to actually do the real deal. You're going to throw 2 grenades. Don't mess up with that one. The range cadre at Ramagdan can put their hands on you. They can beat you up if you fuck up. Don't drop a grenade. We had... no, nobody in our company dropped a grenade, but somebody in a company previous to us a week before did, and it was not pretty. The one that most people are going to tell you that they hated the most was Nick at Night. Nick at Night was a lot of fun. That was a whole bunch of sarcasm. That's the closest I've been to passing out from heat in the entire time that I was there, and like I said, it was at night. Basically, you're in full battle rattle. That's body armor, that's your flick, that's your ACH, eye pro, which are the glasses that they give you so you don't friggin' stab your eye out on a tree or something like that. And your weapon. And you're going to low crawl or high crawl across 73 meters of sand. And there's going to be barbed wire. They're going to be firing live rounds over your head. Out of a 240 Bravo or the 249 SAW. And then they got little propane tanks laid out in random areas that blow up randomly. They don't blow up to hurt you, they just blow off pressure, and it sounds like a mortar round hitting. Basically, trying to provide a bunch of stress so that you can, see if you can get through that without standing up. Don't stand up. It's not good, especially if you're tall. And take your head off, and they will yell at you a whole lot. So, like I said, that one was probably the worst one that I went through. You'll stand in places you didn't know existed, all that cool stuff. Definitely the least fun thing that we did. Now that I've covered pretty much everything that it's going to go into the Final FTX, I'm going to go more into that. Final FTX, like I said, it's 4 days, 3 nights. You're going to go out there, you're going to do your normal HCV stuff, and you're going to do training on basically everything that you've learned for field stuff. You're going to do the biggest thing for us at Jackson. I don't know if they call it the same thing at other bases. It's Victory Forge, and that's where you're moving as a squad, and you're taking over a town, and you're clearing the town, and you do like building clearing and stuff like that. You're using Miles gear, which is like advanced laser tag. They put a laser on the weapon. They put like little laser receptors on your body and on your helmet. And every time you fire a blank off on the weapon, it shoots a laser out, and it tracks where that laser goes so that it can tell if it hits you or not. So you're going to do that. You're going to do some more grenade training. You're going to do basically wrap-up training on whether or not you know the ranks and basic knowledge of what you're supposed to have learned in the Army. And then at the end of that, you're going to do your final ruck march on the way back to the company is usually how they do it. That's how they did it with us. As far as canceling these go, they've got certain rules that they have to follow via TRADOC, which is basically what lays out there, the group that lays out all the rules for basic training, what they can and can't do, as well as AIT. Sometimes you'll go back for like a day if you're on a longer FTX. We didn't actually do FTX 1. We went out there, we did our training, and then we went back because there was a really bad thunderstorm that came through that night. But that's basically the last FTX, as much in depth as I'm going to go with that one. Now, the one thing that Fort Jackson has that most other bases, if not every other basic training base, don't have, it's a confidence building course, but it's a special one. Every base has got confidence building courses, but this one's called Victory Tower. You're going to do a couple of different things at Victory Tower. Biggest one that scares everybody is the 40-foot wall that you rappel off of. You do free rappelling off of a 40-foot wall, and you're not really going to fall. They're going to make sure you don't fall, but you know, don't mess up there because they will yell at you a lot, and they can't put their hands on you because you're putting other people's lives in danger. You're also going to do like transporting yourself across a rope bridge, different types of rope bridges, and you're going to climb down this really tall like rope wall thingy. You're going to have to climb down the wall. And like I said, that's a Fort Jackson thing. If you go to Fort Jackson, you're going to do it. That is a graduation requirement, though. So don't miss out on that. It's actually pretty fun. I've rappelled before, so I really didn't have any problems with it. But, yeah, you're going to have fun doing that. Don't really be scared of it. It's not that bad. The drill sergeants are they're gonna say things to mess with your head, like, oh, it's messed up, oh, he's gonna fall, you know, stuff like that. Don't listen. They're messing with you. They're not gonna let you hurt yourself if there's anything that they can do to prevent it. Now I'm gonna go a little bit into how things are set up. So with you know, groups of soldiers. So you got the fire team, then you get a squad, then you get a platoon, then you get a company, then you have a battalion, then you have a regiment, and above the regiment is a brigade. And like, you know, platoons fit into companies, companies fit into battalions, battalions fit into regiments, regiments fit into brigades. The last major thing is there's going to be, they call it's inspection 4, it's IM4, and they have either battalion, brigade, or regiment level officers and high-ranking like sergeant majors, command sergeant majors, all that stuff. They come in.
Riley just.
Sorry about that brief moment of yelling. I have a retarded battle buddy. So, anyways, IM4, you're going to have high-ranking sergeants and officers and stuff come in. They're going to inspect your bay. They're going to ask you questions on your knowledge of the Army, you know, like, command structure, you know, like, who is your brigade command sergeant major, stuff like that. Other things like military courtesies and stuff like that, just general knowledge and stuff. Really don't get too tripped up about it. It's a big deal, but it's nothing that you'll be well prepared by the time you do that. That's like last week of basic type of stuff. Once you're done with that, you're pretty much done besides cleaning up your equipment. The last thing that I added on is like a tag is like a little last minute thing is the gas chamber. We did that our first week, And the gas chamber is pretty fun. It doesn't hurt that bad. You walk in with your mask on. They make you do like some exercises and stuff to get your breathing rate up and to prove to you that the mask really works. Then you void the mask and you break the seal. Then you clear it again and you put it back on without breathing. And then at the end, you turn and you take the mask off, actually, and you breathe it in. And then you walk out. Basically, it's so that you have, you know what it feels like, and you have, you know, trust in your equipment because it proves to you that it really does work. And it only really is uncomfortable for like 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how much of it you actually get. We had some guy sneeze when he was in there, and whew, he was hurting. But, no, it's actually pretty fun. I do the gas chamber again. And, sorry. So that is a wrap for this video. Again, if y'all have any questions or concerns or anything like that, comment. If you aren't appreciating the videos or anything like that, just let me know. Like, I'm pretty new to this, so let me know anything that you think I should be doing or that you would like to see, or any specific things about training and stuff like that that you got questions about. Ask me in the comments below. Totally open to that stuff. So, yeah, I hope y'all like this video, and I've got another one coming out pretty soon. So, yeah, y'all have a good one.